Hello and welcome to another episode of Sports with Mongha. And it's ended. And it's ended with Manchester City 3, and Aston Villa 1. Not a cagey affair at all. Almost too easy for Manchester City, to a point where they had to substitute Erling Haaland. The goal machine was substituted in the first half. That's the first. I think by then it's all important for the all important title deciding game coming up in the midweek for Manchester City and Arsenal. Well, the title is just kind of poised right there in the game, right? There's been a lot of off the pitch stuff happening for Manchester City. They've had to deal with a lot of kind of bad publicity, a lot of allegations, and Pep Guardiola has done an amazing job, kind of pushing the topic of like saying the fact that whatever, we are the champions of England, whatever it is, and we have clubs that don't like the fact that the way we've played and so on and so forth. That's fine, but then today's game is a show of their mettle in my opinion. Manchester, the pressure was completely on for those players. There was no chance that they could have left this game late or not finished it early. That's the reason why Manchester were already 3-0 up at the end of first half. You could see the kind of game, the way it was propping up. Of course, this is coming back from their loss to Spurs over the weekend, and trying to win and trying to get momentum for the all-important game against Arsenal over the Wednesday. Manchester City made Pep Guardiola made 4 changes that was beaten by Tottenham. Ruben Diaz made his first start since the World Cup. He was partnered by Joan Laporte. De Bruyne and Gundogan also came in. Akanji, Ake, Alvarez, and Lewis were all on the bench. Foden was on the bench, so that was a good sign to see as well. For the Villa boss, Unai Emery, he made 1 change because of an unfortunate injury to the ever-present Tyron Mings. Came in Chambers for the central defense. I almost felt the way they played didn't kind of suit them with Digne and Ashley Young. So the game was pretty cagey in my fan. Like, I would say, like the Grealish was just kind of running the flank, and we didn't see Young gonna go ahead, so he was just there to mark him. But the Digne didn't provide any service to Watkins in the first half, like curling the ball behind Walker, because it was funny to see Walker and Bernardo Silva sometimes occupying that spot and not tracking back the runners on both sides. For Aston Villa, there could have been a different strategy in this game, of course, but then it was eventually a pretty straightforward. The first goal comes in the 4th minute after from the corner, where Rodrigo flicks it in from in the near post. Emi Martinez can't save it. Second goal was, I think, that was one of my favorites. But of course, like the play is very. Chambers could have just kind of taken the ball out or just left it for Martinez to pick it up, but then he takes the ball outside. Haaland comes across, fires the shot across the post, and Gundogan is there available on the far post to kind of tuck it in. And the third is the penalty shout. Pretty interesting that Rodri wanted to take it, and then Gundogan, the captain, had to come in and give the ball back to Mahrez, who really scored it, but then at the end of it missed a sitter with a beautiful Alvarez shot. But then Ollie Watkins did come back to score one goal, which ended we ended their clean sheet 3-1. Some really nice substitutions. Haaland substituted for Alvarez in the first half. Diaz also substituted for Akanji. Then we had Grealish going off in the 69th minute for Foden to come in, and Ake then coming in for Riyad Mahrez after ballooned this shot. Yeah, and and it's perfect. Like the all the hard work was done in the first half by Manchester City, and they saw they just see it out the second of see out the second half to maintain, to claim maximum points and minimum damage, and move closer to Arsenal, the top of the Premier League table. Aston Villa crept back into the game a little. I felt that there was a couple of chances that they could have done better with. Of course, the substitution of getting Coutinho in kind of ramped up the game, or kind of gave that adrenaline into Villa players to kind of do something, because he just moves magnificently. He's a magician with the ball. What he can do, I think Aston Villa is lucky to have a player like Philippe Coutinho with them. And he made a beautiful cross, a beautiful pass, but only with Ederson to save a tap in. That's kind of that's how good Coutinho was today. Guardiola now prepares for the most crucial game of this season, in my mind, where Manchester City plays Arsenal. While the 11th placed Villa now play again, they also play Arsenal. Actually, they also play Arsenal in 6 days. In the next week. The weekend, in the next weekend. So that's going to be very interesting to also watch, like both the teams, Arsenal playing Manchester City first on Wednesday for the title deciding game. Because, well, it's true. Arsenal right now is on 51 points. Manchester City is at 48 points, but then Arsenal will still have a game at hand, but then that will still give them the psychological boost. First time for the first time in the whole season, Arsenal would be able to would go down on the Premier League after the World Cup, definitely, and it'll be a good morale boosting game. Looking forward to that one. Let me know in the comment section below what do you think. Haaland, I think did he pick up a niggle? Who should have taken the penalty, Mahrez or Haaland? You always want the striker to get a goal in my mind, but then that didn't happen. Some really nice moves. Kevin De Bruyne coming back in the squad. I don't think he looked as sharp as he always is with his crosses and with the ball that he plays across, but then that's him kind of trying to come back in. Foden start or get some minutes under his belt, so that's a good thing. I think he starts against Arsenal. Would be interesting to see how the backline is set up because with the starting lineup also kind of tinkered by Pep Guardiola to kind of rest Ake, Akanji, Rico Lewis, and Alvarez. So that's going to be very interesting to see how he starts the game in against Arsenal the midweek. Let me know in the comment section below what you think. The title deciding match, and of course Manchester show their mettle that they're still part of the Premier League and they're very much part of the title deciding fight battle for this title, and they're not going to let it go easily. Let me know in the comment section below and catch you in the next one.